Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's Rook here with part 2 on our video on how to gain engaged followers. This is the second portion in a series on how to maximize your payouts on X. In the first portion, we talked about building a strong profile, and today we're going to get a little bit deeper in how to grow your follower count. Whether you're brand new to X or a seasoned user looking to expand, I'm going to share the other two strategies to get more followers and build a verified audience. Okay, in the first video, we talked about using your notifications and joining communities. And today we're going to talk about using follow trains and engaging in the comment sections of other creators. And you'll find that those are basically, they're done basically the same. Um, so with follow trains, they're really a fantastic way to connect with others, especially if you're new. So what you want to look for is you want to look for posts that that other creators use to encourage people to follow each other. So I have this guy. I've been horsing around on here just a little bit this morning, and Traditional Thoughts had a post earlier, and we'll go to his page here, and I'll show you what it looked like. Basically, what he did was he put out a post uh, that was just asking if anybody wanted a shout out. Okay, so uh, comment below, and I'll do my damnedest to get you a shout out. So this is technically not a train. It's more of a post for shout outs, but I would consider it kind of a train as well. So basically, he posted this 30 minutes ago. And the reason that I even put something in here, I'm not really looking for a shout out because we're close to about the same in followers. But I wanted to come through and follow the people in here, and I wanted to put some comment in here as well, so I would be more likely to see his shout outs. So as he's I did tell him I would help him out too, so I'm following all of the people that he shouts out. So basically, what happens when you see a post like this, you want to drop your name, your handle, something in here with a brief message, so he knows that you're someone who wants a shout out. Okay, whether it's just something as simple as a flag, I follow back. Um, Dropping your handle is not terribly necessary. I guess maybe it's helpful for some devices, easier to click on, but honestly, all you have to do is hover over the name or the photo, and you're going to get your picture. So so basically, you just put this in here, and then what Traditional Thoughts is going to do is he's going to give you a shout out. So rather than just the people that are inside this thread seeing it, all of the people that Traditional Thoughts, all of his followers are going to see it. So when you look at what he's been doing, let's take a look. We'll go back and look at the first one and see what kind of action it's getting. Okay, so immediately right after he put this post, he put this one out, and the post is let's see, 35 minutes old. But Charles Dawes has already gotten for this post, this shout out post here, is there's 548 impressions. That many people saw it. 21 reposts, and then a bunch of comments. Now, most of these comments are just going to say, "I followed you," "I did this." So for me, I put, "I got him." But all of these people are following Charles, and that's just kind of an easy way to pick up to pick up followers. Now the only thing is that Traditional Thoughts is not going to be able to do this like all day, so he may for the next hour or so, he may just spend time shouting people out, but eventually he's going to have to move on and do whatever else he does on X. So he's not going to do it all day. So it's kind of important that when you see these posts, if it's like 5 minutes old, I have like a 5, 6, 7 minute rule where anything you do pretty much after that is not really going to net you very much. So if you're one of the first to post, which myself and the next one that you'll see, Sovereign, really, she's a great poster for me. I came upon her when she had like, goodness, less, it was like 700 700 followers. I shouted her out, and then she got some shout outs from some other people as well, and has really grown very, very quickly. So on hers, she has. Why are the impressions not showing up here? Uh, Not 100% sure why that is. Okay, so basically, I put in here, given my nod of approval for her, and then all of these people are following her. So let's see. Uh, this one is not quite as old. So she started off with 41 and now has 4,200 subscribers. So she's likely going to pick up. She probably has already picked up well, anywhere between like 75 and 100, but will likely get a couple of hundred new followers out of this. So, and you would, and this is basically the same way that a train would work. That's why I'm highlighting this one, is because trains are pretty much identical. It's basically a. Let me see if I can find a. Okay, here's one right here. Okay, so one bad dude. Again, this is somebody who's got a ton of followers. I'm not going to jump in this one because it's like 10 minutes old. But basically, you want to, if you can jump in early. I mean, doing it in 10 minutes for someone that doesn't have a lot of followers, somebody who's under 1,000 followers, absolutely nothing wrong with that, and you're still going to get something out of it. So, if you can come out of this train picking up 10, 15 new followers, that's pretty good for minimal effort. So basically, you would just, put your drop your handle in here, and I would encourage you to either use a GIF or to have a handful of photos that you would drop in here as well. These always tend to do better than the more text-heavy ones, or the ones that have text only. If it because it says something about you, and it gives people more of an idea of whether or not they want to follow you immediately. So basically, you would drop this down here, hit reply, and then what I would also encourage you to do. So I'm going to be a hypothetical user that has uh, 500 followers, and I'm following 600. Okay, so if I have 500 followers, I would definitely follow this guy. Here to troll and question everything. Now again, you want to read the bio and make sure that it's something that something that that you agree with, or something that resonates with you. Okay, maybe this guy. Now, when you're in trains, most of these people are looking for followers, so they're more likely going to follow you back. Now, the quality of the follower may be questionable. I mean, we just that's no knock. We just don't know. We don't have enough information to just by looking at this to tell whether or not there's someone who engages with people regularly. But at the very beginning, what you're trying to do is get followers. Okay, so I would probably go ahead and try this one as well. And keep in mind the way that the way that these are set up, and I think I touched on this briefly before, is uh, basically the way that they're arranged in here is some combination of whether you're premium plus, premium, or whether you're not verified, whether the original poster comments on your post, those will generally be closer to the top. How many likes, comments, and reposts a post has will kind of push it up a little bit. So it's a combination of a whole bunch of things, and we'll talk about that a little bit more as we get into like the reach video and all of that. Um, but one of the other criteria is whether you follow them or not. So what you're going to find here is that most of these people closer to the top are going to be people that I follow already. But again, I'm acting like a hypothetical person. Probably wouldn't try to follow somebody who's got like 10,000. Um, Again, you want to try to stay a little bit closer, maybe 7,000, maybe. But that's probably like the limit. Almost certainly not this guy. Now, he would probably follow back. I mean, I guess you can follow them if you feel like if you want to take a chance and they're Their follower and following ratio is pretty close together there. But if you just go through this list, like definitely I would follow this one. So we have an opportunity. Duke has like 14,000, no 35,000. Goodness. Okay. And actually, one of the other ways that they decide, where they rank these all of these comments under a post is your reach as well. Okay. Okay. So as long as this bio is something that you feel good with, um, then they're definitely worth a follow. So basically, you're hoping to get some people that see your comment in there and automatically follow you, because everybody looking at this thread doesn't really want to maybe drop their name in there. Doesn't want to, they just might go through and just follow all of the people that are in the comments section. So they may give you a follow and then you know not post anything at all. Everybody's not going to go under your post and say, "Hey, I followed you." See, here's another one. I would probably follow this guy. Now these are a little bit. This is not usually what I do, because I try not to follow people from posts that are like 12 minutes old, because I don't want to have to wait, um, 4 or 5 days for a follow back. Usually, now you can do that if you're new, but for me, I would prefer to. Um, these are always real risky here. In these follow trains, you're almost always going to find, and I'm not saying she necessarily is one, but she exhibits the symptoms of a hobot. Okay, so, but honestly, you could even follow those, and if somebody jumps in your DMs and tries to sell you like feet pics or something, 10 minutes after you follow them, then just block them and get on with your life. It's not the end of the world. Um, Most of the time I can't be bothered because my DMs can kind of get full anyway just from talking to people. Okay, here's another one. If any of this interests you, but see, when you're like under 1,000, there's going to be so many people in here that are just salivating for followers, and people that that are just as frustrated as you are when it comes to people not following back. So the kind of the loose rule that I would use is of course go ahead and drop something down here first before you start going in and following back. That way, more the closer to the top, the more people will see it. Um, but try to stay within a certain range. Don't just automatically assume because you follow somebody that's got 30,000 subscribers that they're going to follow you back. Some will, but there's a much lower likelihood of them following you back than if you're staying a little bit closer. Maybe 6,000, I think probably, yeah. If they're in a Trump train, maybe not, or if they're in a train, maybe I wouldn't do that if I were in a comment section, but I may would do it because these people in here they're in here because they're looking for followers. Okay, so it may be okay to do it here. So we've taken a couple of seconds and done some of this. So let's jump in our notifications and see what we can see. Okay. I'm not sure. Some of these I won't know 100% what they are. Okay, so in that one that I said that I would help out, I caught a like off of that. Okay, and she followed me too. So, again, I don't usually go after blue check marks when I'm actively looking, but if somebody has taken the time to like something, a couple of posts of mine, plus they went ahead and followed me, then I'm going to go ahead and follow her back. Sovereign, love that girl. Thanks, Rook. Okay, ordinarily I would comment back to these people to kind of see if we can keep a conversation rolling. But for the purposes of this video, we're just giving her a like. Okay, these guys have both liked it. Just make sure I've got them. I do. I'm going to throw him something as well. Oh, this is the same dude. Okay, he actually put a comment here as well. Uh, this was just movies that couldn't be made today. So Tropic Thunder was my answer there, and he liked that. Okay, so let's look and see. Like I say, most of the time, I'm just getting follow backs, so I don't really have to do anything here. But I did drop my handle in one earlier, so I just want to make sure. No, we're good. Okay, so that's basically how follow trains work. Actually, Donna usually does one that's really pretty good as well, but it's early in the morning. Now the thing about this is you want to know the people that do this. So let's say that let's go back to traditional. Let me see if I can get back there. Okay, well we'll talk about one bad dude for a second. Okay, so we saw. Um, you can see that he does train. So maybe this is someone that you want to put on a list, and we're going to talk about lists here in just a moment. Maybe you put him on a list and just call it trains or shout outs, something like that. And to create a list, you would just go to somebody that you want to add to, or uh, so I could right now I could add him to like large accounts or big accounts. So if we want to have a list for like trains and shout outs. You don't really need a description, but always when you're making a list, you don't want everybody knowing that they're on a list because, well, it's none of their business. But some people don't want to be put on lists. Okay, so you may end up getting blocked by some people. So always make it private. Okay, so now we have this happens almost every time. So we're going to check this out here in just a minute. Sometimes it says that there's an error when there's really not an error. And it could be something as simple as needing to wait a couple of minutes because something similar happens whenever you join a community. Like you can't post. So basically that's how it works though. So you may have to come back and add him in later. But anyone like him or traditional thoughts, those are people um, that you want to have on that list. Now the value of the lists are um, well, we won't be able to look at that. And again, what you would do here is on any of his posts, you would just add and remove them from the list. So it's just that simple. You just click on the three dots, add remove from list. If he's already on a list, you're on your group of lists, there'll be a check mark next to it. So if you want to take them off, you would just click it and remove the check mark. But if you're not, if he's not currently on a list, if you just click on him, it'll add him to that list. Now the good thing about lists, well, I think that kind of covers trains for now. Okay, so it's basically you want to drop your name in the comments uh, as quickly as possible. Okay, like I say, you want to try to be in it within 10 minutes if you're new, and probably within 5 minutes if you're not someone who's new. Okay, um, but because the closer you are to the top, the more action you're going to get. So let's say that one of his let's say that this one gets uh, you know 50 comments. Uh, Most people are not going to go through all 50 people. Do you know what I mean? So you want to try to be somewhere within that top 15 or top 20 comments, to where anybody who opens this thread will pretty much see you immediately. I'm gonna go back through and follow all of these people too because I told him I would. Okay, so that's basically it on trains. Now, when you have that list of trains, and like I say, I don't have anybody on here now, so this is not really one I'm going to look for, or not one that I'm going to look at. I'm going to look at big accounts. So when you click on this, it automatically puts them in chronological order. So if I wanted to respond, if I had something to say here, um, this post is only 56 seconds old. She only has 5 comments on it, which is pretty remarkable because she has 750,000 followers. Okay, so that's kind of the beauty of this. So whether you have and this is really important when it comes to getting monetized, because the reality of getting monetized and getting 5 million impressions, you're just not going to do it unless you comment on larger accounts. I mean, you I mean, I guess you could, but you really need kind of a miracle. Okay, you need a single post get 1 million views, 2 million views, or I say views, I mean impressions, mostly the same thing. And it's generally not going to happen. Now, if I come on here and catch her, as we're 56 seconds in, and we only had those 7 comments, my post is most likely going to stay close to the top. This post will probably get 800, 900,000 views. Okay, so basically, if my post is at the top, anybody who clicks into it, I'm going to get credit for. So when you're dealing with an account this size, you can theoretically get hundreds of thousands of views. So that's basically how you go to get monetized. What we're talking about now is gaining followers through engaging in comments. When bigger creators post something relevant, like to our niche, you want to leave something that's thoughtful and meaningful underneath the comments section. So people browsing through those threads will notice you and might check out your profile. I mean, that's one thing. But even if you don't necessarily comment, commenting is definitely important if you're trying to get monetized. But again, we're talking about followers at this point. You want to stay away from the reposts, because these are what we're looking for right now is followers, and we want people that that have posted within 6, 7, 8 minutes. Okay, preferably even sooner than that. So I'm going to go down a little, and we want someone who's got a decent amount of comments. The only flaw with Steve here. So we don't even have to, like I say, we're not really, I'm not worried about being monetized because I'm already monetized. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going through here and I'm going to look for anybody that I'm not following. Now like I say, one of the sorting mechanisms that they use is whether you follow them already. Okay, so generally you'll have all of the people that you follow closer to the top, and once you start running into people that you don't follow yet, that's when you'll start to come across several in a row. Okay, now again on this girl, probably not. I'm just gonna pass on that because, like I say, I'm interested in people following me back. And like I say, this is not terrible. I mean, it's okay to have more following than you have followers, or to be following more than you have followers. You just don't want that number to be like super abnormal. And again, I'm talking a little bit because I don't want to just go through following willy-nilly. You got to wait that 7, 8, 9 seconds, in between follows. Otherwise, you can get your account restricted. Okay. So these, see, I'm picking up a lot of decent people here. So, and like say, Scott has just made this comment 57 seconds ago. So there's a reasonably good reasonably high likelihood that he's still online. And that's mostly what I'm looking for. I want someone to be online so I get my follow back immediately. I don't want to have to wait around like days for it. Now, and the beautiful thing about this is you're being selective about who you're picking, but you're also picking people that leave good comments as well, and that's what you want for underneath your post. You want people who engage, and these people obviously do. So we're going to keep looking here. That's a little weird, but we're going to try it anyway. And the good thing about doing it this way as well, when you're in follow trains, those people are just basically kind of what we call follow for follow people. They don't really have tons of interest in who you are or what you're about. Now these guys are just picking up random followers, and so they don't really maybe know why that is. So to better understand that, what they may do is what they'll do frequently actually is go to your page, and they'll start looking through your content, and then they'll repost you, or at a minimum they'll like you quite a bit. They'll go through and like the first four or five posts. Now, and we talked about that a little bit as well in the first video, about your profile and your page overall, because what we're doing, I assure you, before they follow us back, they're going to do as well. So that's why it's important to have like a decent bio, decent profile pic, and have a nice pinned tweet, because your pinned tweet will get quite a lot of action. Now, there's not a ton here, but we'll see. So okay, so there's already a couple of people from the thread we just did. And then we've got a random one which may have come from our train earlier. Swearingen. And I'm not sure if I probably am going to try and do one more. And that's what I use this. I created this big accounts, mostly to get monetized. Okay, because like I was telling you, like 29 seconds, so I would jump right in here and post something, and the highest likelihood, because I'm a Premium Plus member, is that I would end up being my post would stay closer to the top. Now you can't just post some garbage, because, like I say, there's quite a lot of criteria that's involved in the arrangement of all of these replies. And another one of the big ones, it's premium versus premium plus, versus non-verified. Whether she responds, she's not going to respond to any of these. But then also, okay, what's going on here? I've got a heavy finger here. Okay, so what goes on after that is, if you look at the amount of likes you get, comments, or repost of your reply. Now, that's why you don't want it to be something garbage, like just, yeah, I agree, or, hi, or good morning, some kind of rubbish like that, because you're basically going to get, as people post better stuff, better replies, you're going to get shoved to the bottom, because nobody's going to repost or comment on your post, or on your comment. So you do want it to be something relevant. And if it is, again, you look at someone like Barbie that gets a bajillion, she has a bajillion followers. It's going to get a bunch of views, a ton of views. Okay, so like I say, we're not interested necessarily in just getting views or impressions right now. I'm more interested in comments. So I'm trying to find 9 minute, or oh no, that's a repost anyway. And again, so when I go in here and look around, like all of these comments, I don't want to go through here and start looking, because these comments are all 9 hours old. So there's really no guarantee that any of these people are still even you know that they're online. And for me, that's kind of a big deal. I don't want to have to sit around waiting on whether someone's going to follow me back, because that's if they don't, that's how you end up with that terribly lopsided. You're following 2,000 people, but only have 750 followers. And like I say, that can cause all kinds of problems for you. I mean, it can cause your own post to have less reach. It can even cause well, I don't want to go through 400. It can even go. It can even cause sometimes your post. It may not even be on here. Okay, it may cause your post to come down in here sometimes. Which means nobody will see it unless they click this. And I'm not going to click this because I'm online, and the vast majority of what you see in here is probably not safe for YouTube. You know, so it's but you don't want to end up with your post getting stuck all the way down there where nobody can see it. And you don't want to always you want to have a wide variety of people on here, because let's if you just look at Insurrection Barbie, the the highest likelihood is that it's the same people responding to her that did on the post that we already did. So we can try it again, but the likelihood is we're not going to find much in here. We might find one or two as opposed to 6 or 7 like we found earlier. And oh, okay, wait a minute now. You saw me scroll down a little bit. That's because I'm trying to get past the people that I already follow. And again, this is, I hate to say it's time sensitive. See, we're not following this guy again for this poor following ratio. We want to get a follow back, and to be honest with you, maybe they follow somebody who's got more than 10,000 followers. But it's just a bad habit to get into, because I mean, I think this says something about people. I'm not trying to call Gabriel out or anything, but um, he's obviously here to make money and pretty much nothing else. Okay, we all want to do as well as we can with the monetization program, but not at the expense of being like a douchebag. Okay, this is not terrible. Okay, and now uh, I'm kind of an economics nerd, so this wouldn't be something that appeals to you. Like say, as you're going through, you're just looking at that following ratio, making sure that they give a crap, that they're a real human being, and that they have something in their bio that interests you. Again, this is done. If it's like less than half, then they're listening to the people that tell them that that's good for their reach. But let me assure you. See, I'm not who has better reach, me with a with my ratio, or let's just say, because my ratio is not even the world's best. But let's say somebody's got 5,000 followers and they're following 5,000 people. Their reach is going to be 10 times better than this guy's. Okay, so and all you do by doing this kind of nonsense right here is, especially when you're new, is stunt your growth. Okay, because there's most people can look at this and see what they're trying to do, so they don't want to follow them. Like I'm not following them. Again, I don't really like this. When somebody's really super new or doesn't have a lot of followers, these numbers should be really close together, or if anything, you should be following more than you have followers. And again, all of these are just very general rules. There could be reasons why this is the case, but I don't have any interest in spending any time figuring out what his deal is. I would just rather, go elsewhere. Okay, don't like it. I just Some of these ratios are weird. Okay, this is another one. This one looks kind of like a bot. I mean, all of this looks really, really good, but oh, whoops. Um, I don't know. I'm gonna follow him just to see if any monkey business comes about. Like I say, anyone that just comes into your DMs right after you follow them, just block them because no matter how nice they might be trying to sound, nobody does that. No real human does that. So it's or no real genuine person does that. If they're pretty much trying to sell you something or trying to scam you, they're always with the Illuminati or they just won the lottery or some nonsense. Okay, I'm gonna try this guy. I mean, he's the North Carolina guy, and I have and plus he's a veteran, so I have a soft spot in my heart for veterans, so they almost always get a follow, unless they just look totally crazy. And you can see again, I'm not actively pursuing any of the people without the blue check marks because we all want the verified users, but so I don't necessarily actively go after them, but I anyone who shows up that follows me or I usually will follow all of them. From the notification section, or if they're recommended to me by somebody else, like somebody doing a shout out or like a big shout out. So that's it. Okay, those were the final two. So that's basically trains act very similar to what we were just doing, which is engaging from the comments section. So you have those two things. You have using your notifications and joining communities. I think joining communities kind of didn't get maybe the attention that it deserves, but if you can find a good one, like the Friends Tavern, the one that I joined, that was my first, and I've been in some other ones that I've decided that they just simply weren't for me. They were either poorly moderated. It was like the Wild West up in there. So I just left them all together. But this one was really it was really helpful at the beginning. So when I joined, probably when I had about I don't know 1,000 subscribers or something, and honestly they really kind of helped get me up to 2,000. So that's pretty impressive. And it could probably even be a little bit better if you're um, if you have even a little bit less than that. I mean, you could easily triple your followers by getting in a good community. Now, like I say, this one did have I want to say it was like 700 members whenever I first joined. So you want to have something that maybe shoot for something that has like you know between 100 and 200 maybe. It's going to be way more personable if you join one that's got like 100 or 200. That way, it maybe isn't quite as active, but it would be like kind of like a small town. All people, everybody might know everybody's business, but they all really look out for each other. Okay, so that's it. Just a brief recap. We did follow trains, using notifications, joining communities, and engaging in the comment sections, of larger creators. So that's it. 4 simple but powerful strategies to grow your followers on X. Remember that building a following does take time, but it's important to be consistent. Whether you're just starting out or looking to level up, these tips will help you attract and engage with the audience that you want. And what we're looking for, if we're talking about monetization, is uh, we want followers who engage. Okay? So if you found this helpful, don't forget to like, leave a comment with your questions, and subscribe for the next video in the series. We've got more tips coming your way to help you thrive on X. So thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Stay creative and keep posting.